Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday morning here from Ohio. Frozen Ohio, cold Ohio, gloomy Ohio. I think there's only been one time where I did a Saturday morning live where it wasn't cloudy and nasty. I don't know what's up with that. But it's cloudy and nasty today. At least it warmed up to a balmy 27. I got my coffee, so we're good to go. How's everybody doing this morning? I usually stay on for about an hour. For those of you that do not know, and thanks for the thumbs up, the early thumbs up. I appreciate the thumbs up. I'm here every Saturday about 10 o'clock. I'm on a few minutes early today. What's going on, Darren? If I miss any of your questions, you can head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman and send me a DM. I'd be happy to answer it. I set my Instagram to private because I got an epic level cyber stalker, someone that doesn't like my opinion. Excuse me, that obesity is dangerous. So let me grab some coffee and get right into the questions. Nard puncher. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what could be hurting my lower back. And I just heard Athlete X say leg curls are doing it. Well, he didn't say leg curls are doing it. Leg curls can contribute to it. Excuse me. A little bit sick. So if you have a lower back injury, the first thing to look at is going to be your squats and deadlifts and exercises that impact your lower back if it feels weak. If your lower back is weak, there's a chance that your lower back could simply just be weak and you might need to strengthen it. So don't just go off the possibility that one exercise is impacting your lower back. There's a lot of other possibilities. What's going on, the Roo? Let's see. Cloudy and nasty in Bulgaria too. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Always cloudy and nasty here. I think there's only been 1 week in Ohio when I do this live where it hasn't been cloudy and nasty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want to become strongest man ever. How do I achieve that? You're gonna have to pray constantly, night and day. Take a lot of drugs, pray constantly, and hope that fate is in your hands, and that you don't get injured. You probably need to be well over 6 foot tall and take a lot of drugs and have the best genetics ever. So if you're asking me, somebody that's never been the strongest man ever, how to be the strongest man ever, can't help you. Probably need to ask the strongest man ever. You know what I'm saying? All right, see what we got. Steve, taking my coffee poo now. Coffee poo, nothing's better than a good old Saturday morning coffee poo, you know what I'm saying? Rue, front squats seem easier on my knees than back. Is that a myth or down to form? No, not a myth at all. Each squat variation can impact the knees and hips differently. When we do a box squat, for example, we tend to drive our hips back and it can place more stress on our knees. Now, a back squat can do the same, depending on form. The weight's a little forward in the front squat, and sometimes a front squat just feels better on the quads and knees for some. It all depends on your build, your leverages, and quite honestly, your form. A lot of variables involved, but it certainly can be better. And if I sound like crap, I got a sore throat. I do. I have a sore throat all week. We've had some virus going around that is just nasty. The big, hairy, ugly dude can't escape it. What's up? What's up, John West? Winner. Good morning. How are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. How do I break? What? Sorry, there's an arrow, down arrow. We're trying to get YouTube to cooperate with me. How do I break an addiction? Seek help. I'm not an addiction counselor. And I don't mean to be dismissive, but I'm not. Stay in my lane, talk about muscle and strength building. If you have an addiction, porn, coffee, Cheetos, you gotta seek help. What's going on, Ryan? What's going on? Ben on Adventures. How's it going? What's your thoughts on RPE? Saw your old video. You talk very loud. Sorry. Sometimes I get excited. I try not to get as excited anymore. People used to say, "Why do you talk so loud?" Well, when you're talking in video, you don't want to talk like that and just say, "Hey, I want to help you get really strong and big and really buff and ripped." Now you got to project a little bit, make sure people can actually hear you. So I probably projected a little bit too much. RPE can have its place. I don't think it's a really good tool for guys during the first couple of years of lifting because you need to spend some time pushing sets to the limit, not to failure, but near failure, to have an understanding what an RPE is. And that comes with time, and it's an art form. So I don't really like the use of RPE for somebody that hasn't spent a lot of time under the bar and doesn't really understand what true exertion is, if that makes sense. Ryan. Oop, that was kind of loud. Ryan has said Buddhist, the big, hairy, ugly dude. Lightning. Hey, Steve. What set times rep percentage would be ideal for pause squats and deadlifts? That's a very good question. Pause squats, they can, if you the first time you try pause squats, you probably don't want to do a lot of reps because for me, and mileage may vary for you, but for me, they are much different than regular squats. After squatting, I don't know, for 10 straight years, I tried pause squats for the first time. And after the first set, I was toast. So I would probably start with pause squats at 5 rep sets and maybe work up to 8 rep sets. I think for me personally, 8 rep sets were kind of the sweet spot. I don't really see the need to go above that. But if you can do 3 to 4 sets or 2 to 4 sets of pause squats, you're doing really good. And I don't think you really want to. You can go heavy on pause squats, obviously, but for the meat and potato work, I really think you probably should get some rep volume in. What's the ideal for? I don't know if you're asking about pause deadlifts, Lightning, so maybe you can clarify. Mike, what's your opinion on Alpha Destiny's novice program? Not familiar with it. I've never actually looked at it. I've been asked a question about it a couple times, but quite honestly, and not being dismissive, there's so many programs out there that it's hard to digest all of them, but I would love to take a look at it. If somebody could send that to me on my Instagram at Ben the Barman versus DM, I'd be happy to make a video about it because that'd be a very good topic. Let's see. Bob Cahill. Been doing your full body workouts I found on Tiger Fitness. Thanks for putting them out there. You bet. Like it a lot. Better than starting strength I was doing. I like to put together workouts that are well-rounded, that help the average person, guy and girl, build muscle and strength because that's really what we want to do. Starting Strength is a fine strength program, but it's called Starting Strength for a reason. It's not as well-rounded as I like because I am a power building coach, and that's different from Rip-a-Toe. I want to see people get big. I want to see people get strong. I want to see people improve their functional strength. And I know that's a trigger word for some of you, but you know what? It's nice to be able to do things functionally with a lot of strength and power. I'll be on for about an hour, guys. Just slam your questions in if I miss them. Don't hesitate to repost them up. And if I do miss your questions, just come on over to Instagram at Ben the Barman. Send me a DM. Just a reminder, if you need help, I offer a free first month of coaching. Free. No, it's not a gimmick. It's a complete hands-on service. Strength, muscle building, form assessment, diet. I'm with you there. I'm with you day in and day out. So all my clients are losing weight. All my clients are seeing really good results. I have room for 4 clients right now. I'm at about 36, and I don't really like to go over 40. So if you want one of these slots, free first month, head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman and message me. All right, enough of the commercial. Ben on Adventure. If you want a 1-rep max calculator or Excel, I can email you one. I made one using the Britsky formula. Yeah, man, email it to me. I'll post it up on my site, Super Living Today, as a free tool, and give you a nod if that's cool. So just let me know the specifics. My email. If you don't know my email, just hit me up on on Instagram, and I'll send you my email. Mike, will doing box squats bring my back squat up more, or simply doing more standard squats? You know what? That's an interesting question. In my experience, and I've played around with box squats my fair share. I built a box at my home gym, the Dungeon, back in the day when I first started this channel. Some of you guys probably remember that. But I played around with box squats a lot, and quite frankly, for me personally, I didn't feel they helped my squat. I just felt that regular squat training and regular workouts helped my squat. If anything, they could have helped my deadlift, because you kind of get that pause at the sitting position. But I never found them to be valuable personally. Now, don't take that the wrong way. That's not a condemnation of box squats in general. I'm not saying they're useless. I just did not find them particularly useful in my experience. If you want to get better at the squat, I strongly suggest that you get your quads a lot stronger and you do probably a little bit more squat volume, because some folks just do not do enough squat volume. Probably get about 30 reps per workout. Focus on progression, adding reps to sets, and getting your quad strong in non-squat exercises. So Ben, I just got your message from Instagram, and I'll send that over as soon as I'm done with this. Let's see. Hey Steve, what's a typical day of food intake for you? A typical day of food intake starts with this black coffee. In the morning, I have proats, which I make the night before. It's oatmeal, a half scoop of whey protein, and a container of Greek yogurt. So that's how I start my day, every single day. I have Baby Bell cheese, the 50-calorie lights. I like to snack on those because I can just pop those along and get my protein intake up. So I pack a lot of those in my cooler. I pack a meal in my cooler, like a meal prep meal. I also have Kodiak cakes. They make these prepackaged waffles, and they're just convenient. I find them at Kroger. So I take 2 of those. I also take a Greek yogurt. I eat that with my Greek yogurt. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Baby Bell cheese, Greek yogurt, protein waffles, a meal prep meal. I'll probably miss something. Then I go work out, and for dinner is usually one of 2 things: 1,000 calories of black rice and eggs, or a lot of vegetables and more low carb. Sometimes I eat more low carb. A lot of vegetables. Like I'll make a stir fry with just light sesame oil and soy sauce. It'll be beef or chicken, or beef or shrimp, or shrimp or chicken. And I'll have tons and tons of veggies, mushrooms, carrots, peppers, onions. Just loaded a huge pile of food for about 1,000 calories or 800 calories. So let's see, Lightning. Yeah, I meant for both pause squat. Lightning want to know about pause deadlifts. Lightning, I'm going to tell you, I do not believe pause deadlifts are particularly useful for the average individual that has yet to bring up their deadlift strength. I think in the gym, if you have a weak deadlift and you need to bring up your deadlift, you better damn sure make sure that your form is good before you start doing pause deadlifts. And with regard to the pause deadlifts, I just think there's other things folks need to work on other than spending time doing pause deadlifts. And that's for guys that have not built a quality deadlift yet. I see a lot of folks doing pause deadlifts and they have weak back strength. I see a lot of guys doing pause deadlifts and they don't do enough squat volume. There's other things you can do that I think are a better investment of time than pause deadlifts. That's just my opinion. Do not crucify me. Sebastian, what's your opinion on Pendley rows starting on a deficit? As long as your lower back is tight from the brace from the starting position, absolutely fine. If it increases your range of motion by an inch or 2 and you can get those arms locked out, that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with Pendley rows as they are. I don't like to go heavy on Pendley rows, meaning 5 rep sets. I prefer to do volume, like 8 to 10 rep sets, just because when you get to the end of a quality set of Pendley rows, they break down really quickly. And I'd rather do a volume and progress in that volume. But yeah, deficit Pendley rows, if you want to do it from an inch or two deficit, as long as your lower back is braced and you're increasing that range of motion, they're absolutely fine. Good morning, Jeff from New Jersey. Milan from the Czech Republic. How's it going, Czech Republic? Let me get some coffee here. Ben on Adventure says he's just finished 5 sets of 20 in the goblet squats. That's some serious cardio. I don't know if any of you have ever done goblet squats, but they're one of the exercises that feel like cardio. What's going on, Florida? Brett says it's a cold morning from Florida. I don't even want to hear about it. It's probably like 60 degrees down there. Voluntaris, 36. A Minnesotan here. Do you ever miss Wisconsin? You know, when I was in Wisconsin, I never had a chance to really hike a lot. So there's a lot of the north that I wish I could hike. There's certain things I miss about Wisconsin. Wisconsin's like its own country, as Minnesota is. You know, we have a very distinct culture. But you know what? I like Ohio. Ohio has beautiful natural resources. I live real close to Kentucky, and I love Kentucky as well. The whole area is just wonderful. I'm close to Indiana and Indianapolis and Tennessee and West Virginia. I just absolutely love it here. And, you know, do I miss Wisconsin? So many bugs. Lord, there's no bugs in Ohio. And it's a little bit warmer in Ohio. So I don't really think about Wisconsin a lot, to be honest with you. Good morning, Pennsylvania. Dave, how are you? Koos from South Africa. We got all the countries today. Greetings to you. What's your view on doing HIIT cardio for a beginner who is also trying to maximize muscle gains? Everybody should do HIIT cardio, or everybody should do cardio. Everybody should do a form of cardio that gets their heart rate up a few times a week. That's just for general health. That will not impact your muscle gains. It might take a few weeks for your body to adapt to doing both cardio and muscle building, but the body is not so fragile that it will cease building muscle if you're pushing correctly just because you're doing cardio. So don't worry about that fear. No need to go obsessive compulsive with doing both cardio and muscle building at the same time. You'll be absolutely fine. Milos, just finished your bench press 10 to 50 workout combined with some back work. I love you, man, but you're a pure sadist for coming up with that. Yes, I am. I love to find ways to challenge myself, and I assure you that any stuff I float out to you guys, I've either done it or done something like 10 times worse in here, because sometimes there was a post on my Facebook group, Massive Iron, yesterday, and somebody was ripping on another member for doing something really strange and challenging and asking why they would do it. Why do we do anything? Why do we challenge ourselves to see what we're capable of, to build mental strength, to build mental confidence? And you know, programs like that, you'll walk away from it and you might never do it again, but man, you just learned a lot about what you can do. You just learned a lot about lifting, bench press. It's just fun. Challenges are just fun to try. So anyway, I'm just going off on a tangent. Robert says, north of North Dakota here, currently minus 20. That's what I don't miss about Wisconsin, to be honest with you. I think the last winter I was in Wisconsin, though, I'm sitting outside in a wife beater with my puppy, who's like looking at me like hashtag WTF is going on. We're sitting out there. The wind chill's like minus 45. And I'm just sitting out there in a wife beater and shorts. I'm so cold, I don't even know if I'm alive. It doesn't even faze you anymore because you're absolutely a brick-sickle. But I don't miss that at all. Let's see. Do you think chest-supported rows on a machine are in any way less beneficial than bent-over rows? Chest-supported rows are going to take some of the momentum out of the lift. They certainly are a good exercise, but on the food chain, they are not quite as good as bent-over rows or dumbbell rows. They're just one step below. So if you're looking at a back program, you have your deadlifts, you have your vertical pull, you have your horizontal pull or row. And with your deadlifts in place, with your pull up or lat pull down in place, you're going to look at row variations next. And the first one I would recommend is Pendley, barbell, or dumbbell row, or maybe even T-bar row. And then after that is step down. You can do chest supported rows and seated cable rows. So that's my opinion. Good exercise to do volume on. I'm following your program in massive iron, but I would like to add some calisthenics. How can I do it, and what's the most effective way? Good question. What I like to do, and what we do in here, is we will do them after a workout, and we'll also do them on non-workout days. And what we like to do is kind of like a circuit. And we didn't really know when we got into calisthenics, we didn't really know what we liked to do or wanted to do. We just wanted to do something different, right? So we would come down here and like pick 3 exercises and just do them in a circuit: body weight squats, jumping jacks, whatever it happened to be, right? And then you come back the next time, you're like, oh, that kind of sucked, or I'm not in the mood for that exercise, or whatever. So I like to do them in a circuit. Maybe in a block, for like 5 to 10 minutes. That's a fun way to do things. So that I would probably do them after your workout. You certainly don't want to do them before your resistance training workout or on off days. So that's a good plan. Brett says he woke up to 50-degree weather. I wish I had 50-degree weather. I'd be hiking instead of sitting here in front of the screen. Nah, I'd still be here. Raja, how are you doing? Raja from India. Good to see you on board. Danielle Khan, hello from Singapore. We got everybody in the house today. Let's see. When to switch programs? What if I'm plateauing because of other reasons, not the program? How do I know what is the reason? That's an interesting question, because there are some things that can cause us to plateau. We can have some mental burnout. We can have stress in our life. We might not be able to eat properly for whatever reasons. There's been times in my life where I just couldn't eat properly because of work demands or any number of things. If you're plateauing because of something outside of the gym, you probably need to switch to a more moderate type of program in the gym. Not easy, okay? Maybe a little bit more streamlined and focused, so you can put more energy into a maybe 20% fewer sets or 20% fewer exercises, and just until you can get yourself together. There are times in the gym where we thrive, and there are times in the gym when we survive. And to be successful in the long run, you need to understand that there are periods where you go in where you won't be thriving, and you need to be okay with that. That doesn't mean you're not doing anything positive. You're just laying bricks in the foundation for you to springboard and move forward and thrive. So if something's causing you to just be in survival mode in the gym, just embrace it. You still have to have that attitude to attack, but just don't let it get you down. Maybe just do a little bit less work and try to focus more on fewer sets or fewer exercises. Let me get some coffee. Been on adventures. Are you ready for our minus 10 type temperature this week? No, I'm not ready at all. We had a long week this week. We have an old building. We own an old building here, and it was our first winter, and the pipes froze, so we were up to 3 a.m. one day, and that's when I got sick again. So I'm not really ready for it. All right, guys, just a reminder, if I miss any of your questions, head over to my Instagram at Ben the Barman and send me a DM. You can also go over to my group, Massive Iron, on Facebook, sign up, and post a question up and tag me, and I'd be happy to answer it there as well. Mike, how do I warm up before doing your rep system using full body workouts when starting with the prescribed compound lifts? What does it look like before doing 3 working sets of deadlifts? 3 working sets of deadlifts, you're probably going to be working around 80% of your 1 rep max, 77.5% to 80%. So let's say that's 400 pounds or 300 pounds or whatever it happens to be. You go in and do bar by 10. You go and do bar by 10, slap on 135 and do it by 8. Move up to 225 and do it by 5. Move up to 275 and do it by 3. Move up to 315 and do it by 1. And then from there, you might move up to 345, 375 by 1 until you get to your working set. I do a lot of warm-up sets to get the body temperature up instead of doing steady state cardio for 5 minutes. I like to do a lot of warm-up sets on that first compound movement to get my temperature up and to get me primed and ready for deadlifts or squats or bench press. So I kind of use the same approach. You can find out more information on that. There's a video on this channel. If you go to the main page of this channel, there's a search function and just search for warm-ups, and it will detail how I advise doing warm-ups for the big compound movements. Dave, what's your view on burpees, sandbag, farmer walks, carries? Burpees, love them. If you do every minute on a minute burpees, you're gonna be in pretty good condition. We did that at Sitfu a couple times, and I think they wanted us to do 10 every minute on the minute or something. I was only doing 5, but did that for an hour, and they are a true test of will and conditioning. Farmers carries, they would work really good with conditioning stuff like burpees. You go over and do like 10 burpees and then do a farmer carry. Then at the end, do 10 more burpees and then do a farmer carry back. That's really good conditioning stuff. And for the muscle heads out there, you're like, what are you doing that stupid crap for? That's fair enough. It's absolutely fair enough. But with that said, everybody should be doing some form of cardio to get their heart rate elevated for general health. If you want to get on the treadmill, that's fine, but that's boring AF. So I'd rather see you do something like that type of work. Let's see, Chris. Did what you told me to increase bench press dumbbells. Was struggling with 110s for sets. I backed down to 95s, now back up to 105s for 3 sets of 12. That is awesome, and that is some good strength, so well done on that. What's going on, hardcore? Yo, yo, yo. Sorry I'm late. I hear somebody walking back there. Might be my wife. What's she doing? What are you doing? Looking all red today.
Cute and furry and fluffy.
Cute and furry. You look absolutely cute and flirty. You know what? She is so far out of my league. I'm not even going to tell her. I'm not going to tell her. She's so beautiful and far out of my league. I don't want her to know.
So I don't run away.
Right. I don't want you to run away. Stay warm. Is one set of 20 rep squats enough cardio? 80% max. Well, a set of 20 rep squats will not be 80% of your max. It'll be a lot less. Is it enough cardio? No. You have to keep your heart rate elevated several times a week for at least 15 minutes. I don't know the specific numbers, but something like that. Wayne, morning, Steve. I'm in the late 50s, still lifting heavy. I have always been a big guy with a lot of muscle. Now I need to downsize and run a 5K in August. What do you think is the healthiest way to do so? Well, you probably when you're trying to lose weight, you don't want to be lifting heavy. Now let me explain what I mean. Like if you normally do 400-pound squats for 5 reps, you probably need to drop that to like 315 and just do 8 to 10 rep sets. So you're still challenging yourself. You're just challenging yourself with more reps. You probably need to drop the intensity or the heavy weight, do a little bit more volume while you're in that weight loss phase, because you don't want to be pushing. You don't want to be trying to use the same heavy weight when you're losing weight, because you're going to get weaker and it's probably going to encourage injury. So you still want to challenge yourself, drop the weight a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm making sense. If you normally do 315 pounds on bench for 5s, maybe drop it down to 275s and try to do it for 8 to 10. So a little bit lighter. And you also, when it comes to eating, you probably want to save more of your calories for the evening. Most of us tend to be bigger nighttime eaters. So you don't want to starve yourself. You want to lose a couple pounds, 2-3 pounds a week. That's usually a sweet spot if you're not morbidly obese. And eat fewer calories during the day, but get in some protein and save the majority of your calories, or as many as you can, for the evening. That way you can go to bed hungry and full and satisfied. So I hope that helps some. Let's see. Sebastian, doing 5 supersets of 1 minute lunges, box jumps, burpees, sandbag swings, and jumping split squats as endurance training. Really feel tired after that. I'm certain you do. But I know one thing, after a couple months of doing those, your conditioning level is nice and tight. Lightning. Hey, Steve, I recently started doing conditioning with a 100-pound sandbag, and it humbled me. Love that stuff. I mean, I love any kind of unique physical challenge, and I always have. So I've never seen a 100-pound sandbag, but that would probably be fun as heck. So let's see. Wayne, are you coming to the Arnold in Columbus? We're planning on it. Fiona and I are planning on just getting tickets and wandering around the crowd. So you might be wandering around in the crowd, and we'll be there mingling. So yeah, we're planning on coming. You guys can, anybody that's coming to the Arnold can just message me on Instagram and say, "Hey, big hairy ugly dude, I'm at the Arnold. I'm over at booth whatever. Come meet me or whatever, and I'll hook up. Be glad to meet you guys." How's it going, Raphael? Ben on adventures. How much calf work per week? That's a good question. How much? I recommend doing calves probably twice a week for those that want to bring up their calves. You should do volume work, and you also should do heavy work, because most people do not attack their calves the same way they attack their squat or deadlift or bench. They don't try to get them strong. And that is a major flaw in calf training. Now, I'm not telling you to do 1 rep max seated calf raises or anything silly like that. But you should be doing one exercise like standing calf raises or seated calf raises, where you do 3 sets by 10 and you just try to get aggressive with progression reasonably so you don't tear your calf, right? And then on the other day, you probably need to do some volume calf work, like a 100-rep rest pause set of rocking calf raises, which is just like this, with maybe holding a barbell or something that really challenges you. So hope that helps some. Raphael, I've had a rhomboid strain and took 6 weeks off of training as per my doctor's recommendation. I'd like to get back to training, and any advice? My first major gym injury in 3 years. The biggest problem when people come back from injuries is that they try to rush things. You need to let the weight come to you. You need to be very smart. Take the first couple of weeks, just get in the gym, use a very light weight, and just get moving again. Because if you try to hop back in, go full speed, you're going to be incredibly sore. And there's other things involved in the body than just muscle. You have your tendons and ligaments and central nervous system and all kinds of stuff. So when you get back to the gym, give yourself a chance to ramp into it for a couple weeks. After a couple weeks, you'll kind of know how you're feeling, and you can slowly increase the intensity from there. After I came back from a shoulder tear, it took me a year to get back up to full strength on my bench press. So just be patient. Be patient. Don't push an injury. Let the weight come to you. That's my best advice. Dave, thanks, Steve. Chris, Sebastian, and Lightning. I'm cheap and looking to supplement my calisthenics. Let's see, Elijah. Is it wrong to start with heavy weight and then drop sets without warming up? I'm not sure what you're talking about. You're talking about using heavy weight without warming up? Schwarzenegger once said something about shocking the muscle with the heavy weight at first. Well, you know what? That's not a good idea, because you need to warm up your central nervous system. A heavy weight will feel heavy because your central nervous system is not engaged and not recruiting a maximal amount of muscle fibers. It's semi-dormant, so to speak. So if you grab a heavy weight, you're going to be putting more strain on things other than the muscle. You're going to be putting strain on the muscle, and it's a good recipe for injury. So sorry, Arnold was wrong on that one. Remington, just crushed hit yoga. Wowzers. Yoga has really improved my recovery. Have you ever had recovery problems? No, I don't have recovery problems. I do a lot of moving on a given week. We hike a lot when it's not freezing. That's kind of my active recovery, and that's very physically challenging. We do calisthenics as well. So no, I've never had a problem. I just like moving. We run. Well, we had run. It's too cold to run right now. We run, we hike, we do calisthenics. Huge and ugly and cute and furry. Thank you guys all for the kind words. Elijah, should I stretch before lifting? I never do, and I've been lifting for a few years. You know what? Um, Stretching before lifting, I don't personally find much value in. I used to stretch before running. I used to stretch before lifting. If you are tight or stiff, there can be some value in it because when you're tight or stiff, it's generally not the muscle, it's generally the fascia. The fascia is generally what's tight. Like if you sit down at a desk and you get up and you're like, oh, I'm so tight and stiff. It's usually the fascia, not the muscle. And you want to loosen that up a little bit. Excuse me. So if you're a little bit tight, it's a good idea to foam roll or maybe do a little bit of light stretching to try to loosen that up and get the blood flow going. But if you don't feel tight, there's really not a lot of value. Stretching to me has its most value when you are tight or stiff. Unless you want to be super flexible, then you should probably do yoga. Excuse me, I gotta blow my nose. It's cold in here. That was rude, wasn't it? All right. Good diet strategy. Always struggle at nights when trying to lose weight. Yep. Most people when it comes to weight loss just eat way too much during the day, and then they get to the night and they're like hungry. The biggest thing and I've made a video on this before, one of the biggest ways you can help yourself lose weight is to stop eating so much during the day. We just have a bad habit of just feeding when we're bored at work. Just slow that down a little bit. What's going on, Brazil? Guys, just a reminder, I'm about 37 minutes in. Usually these Q&As run about an hour before you guys get sick of the big, hairy, ugly dude. If I miss your questions, head over to Instagram. Send me a DM at Ben the Barman. You can go over to my group, Massive Iron, on Facebook. If you need workout assistance, form assistance, diet assistance, or full coaching, the first month of coaching is free. Head over to superlivingtoday.com or message me on Instagram for more details. Justin, do you have any tips for training with pectus excavatum, non-cave chest? How would I develop a full chest with this? No idea. I don't really think you can change that. All you can really do is build muscle like everybody else. When you have a condition, a genetic condition, where you have a certain muscle shape or even a certain deformation, there's nothing you can do other than build muscle. And that just requires you to train like everybody else. So, Brandon, do you think morning boxing is good conditioning for a powerlifter? Morning boxing is good conditioning for you because you like to do it. For a powerlifter, it's a good idea to do some form of conditioning, and it'll take you some time to recover. But absolutely, do what you like to do in life. Do what you like to do, and the body will adapt. Just always keep that in mind. Let's see. I'm trying to get through the questions here. Let's see here. I'm sorry, but surgery is the only thing that can correct it. Somebody's talking about the cave chest. Dave, got to go. Thanks for all you do. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate your support. Remington, as soon as I posted my question, I knew you were going to answer it with hiking. Yes. Everything comes back to hiking. When it's not 15 degrees, man, I would be, and thanks for the kind words. I'd be hiking even if it's minus 15 degrees if I could get Fiona to do it. Mike, when doing 15, 12, 8, 4 reps, then drop sets 50% and go to failure, gets a good pump, but does it increase newbie strength gains? Reps alone, a rep scheme alone is meaningless. Any rep scheme that has a reasonable volume and you have 15, 12, 8, and 4 can increase strength gains, but you got to push for progression. Strength gains don't hinge on a set and rep scheme. I can take a 15 rep set, and then the next time I'm in the gym, I'm trying to get 16 or 17 out of it. All right. That's how you build strength. You try to improve on the amount of reps, or you try to add weight. If you do 15 reps and the weights feels manageable, you come into the gym next time and you use more weight. So you can build strength on really any set and rep scheme. A set and rep scheme doesn't really matter. It's your attitude and how much you attack them. You try to add sets, or you try to add reps, you try to add weight. That is what drives strength. Let's see, Zen. I've never been able to parallel squat. How can I get my squat to parallel? What you do is you go to my website, Super Living Today. You check out the exercise form assessment, and you purchase it. And not being facetious, but I help people get their squat to parallel. I have one of my clients coming in today. I got my squat rack right down here. You can't see it, and I will show you some form things that you need to fix. You can also come to Ohio, and I'll work with you for free. And you need somebody to show you what you are doing wrong, a professional coach, me or someone else. That's my best advice. Elijah, thoughts on fasting? I've done fasting for a long time, or I did fasting for a long time. And it's a pretty good deal when you're trying to lose weight or you're a bigger guy. It can be good for certain lifestyles. Some people don't like to eat a lot during the day. I don't like to turn anything into dogma, though. I don't like to turn anything into a rule. Like some in the intermittent fasting crowd, like it's all or nothing, all or nothing, all or nothing. You have to fast or you're not a faster. Some days, if you like to fast, fast. If you don't like to fast, eat something during the morning. Just don't turn it into a rule. Create a diet and a lifestyle that works for you. That's my best opinion. Danielle, before this ends, do you think you have built a successful business? What's your advice for people wanting to start? Danielle, I will tell you that I am in the best position I've ever been in my life. I've worked very, very hard in the last 12 years. 12 years ago, or I think it's in 2005, I lost my job and I started writing. I'd never been a writer before. I have a full-time job as a writer and editor, one of the top editors in the lifting industry. I have a YouTube channel that's able to reach you guys and help you guys, which is something I absolutely enjoy. I have a wonderful life and a wonderful wife, and I lost 100 pounds, and I have about 36 full-time clients right now, and my workload is absolutely jam-packed. My book, Massive Iron alone, has sold just an incredible amount of copies over the last 4 years, so I'm completely happy with where I am in life, and I just hope to continue to add things of value to the community that can help them reach their goals. So what advice would I have for people wanting to start? Here's the biggest advice. In the internet era, and I help people with this all the time, and I give people the advice, I give people the same advice all the time, whether it's starting a business or whatever you're trying to achieve. Consistency, consistency, consistency. Relentless. I didn't start out being a writer, but I wrote every day. I didn't start out on YouTube hoping to get here. I just made a video every day. You got to allow yourself room to suck, but you also have to learn and grow from your suckiness. And that's the best advice I can give you. Be relentless. If you want something, anything in life, whatever it is, just get up each day and take the next step. Take the next step. Take the next step. Don't quit. The people that are successful don't quit. They learn. So just keep that in mind. Ben says, I agree on eating too much during the day. Yesterday was one of the days I messed up and had only 400 calories at night to work with. Yeah, that can be a huge strain. Bruce, thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate it. Bruce said, should a 5'6" man be slowing down significantly on bench press at 160 for 6 reps, 6 months into training? Should you be slowing down significantly? Yes. I mean, you're going to see good strength gains out of the gate. And then after that point, you're at 160 by 6. You're going to see a natural slowing. It's like a rocket. It just takes off quickly and then the gains will just start to slow. And then after a point in time, you might only gain 10 pounds, 5 pounds your bench press a year. It took me like 10 years to add 50 pounds to my bench press or whatever. So, yeah, you have to realize at the stage you're in that it could take you 2 years to get to 240 by 6. Now, you want to start looking into some bench press programs. I have a bench press course over at superlivingtoday.com. It's only $7.99. It's got tons of different workout ideas. I got tons of bench press ideas for free over at Tiger Fitness as well. So don't quit. Keep fighting and understand that it's natural for things to slow. We can't come into the gym and just build muscle and strength and continue to expect them to just pile on at a rapid rate. That's just not the way the body works. Remington, I got an Instant Pot for Christmas. That thing is badass AF. Do you guys use a pressure cooker? Yeah, I had one of my clients send me one. I appreciate it greatly. We don't use it as much as we should, but yeah, we've definitely used it. John, how is 10-10 going for you? John is doing 10-100. We're currently in a stall, to be honest with you, John. We've had cars break down. We've been sick. We had our water pipes freeze. We've been trying to do what we can, but we're not up to speed right now. So we're hoping to get back up to speed. Anybody that hasn't seen the 10-100 program, it will change your life, and John is doing quite well on it. Milos, if I surpass 10,000 steps every day, plus 3 to 4 full body workouts per week, do I need cardio? Movement is great, all right, but you also need something that elevates your heart rate. So even if you're getting your steps in, I would also try to find something that elevates your heart rate about 3 times a week for 15 minutes. So maybe circuit training, calisthenics, something like that. Let's see. After 3 weeks of using the RepGo system, I'm hitting 15 to 20 on my first set, 10 to 12 on my second set, and 8 to 10 on my third. I've been increasing by 5 pounds each week. Did I start too low? You might have started too low, but you know what? You are pushing those sets to the limit right now. That's wonderful. That'll get you up to speed in your strength in no time at all. So just stay the course, continue to use that scheme, and you will be up to speed. But in getting up to speed, you'll be packing on a quality amount of muscle. So just know that. Let's see. Elijah, better workout with food or without? What's a good pre-workout meal? That's a question that is highly dependent on the individual. Some people do really, really well with limited food before they work out, and some people need a good meal an hour and a half or 2 hours before they work out. So it's highly individual. Me personally, I don't like to go into the gym. I don't want to go into the gym feeling hungry, but I also don't want to go into the gym, feeling any kind of degree of fullness in my stomach. So it's highly individual. Let's see what's going on. Linda, how are you? Hope you're having a good start to the weekend. Strength and courage. I'm starting to lift using starting strength, squats, bench press, and deadlifts. Check out my book, Massive Iron. It'll be a little bit more well-rounded once you are looking for a program like that. BB, hey Steve, I hope you're doing well. Was wondering what you think about exercise rotation. I'm now doing more variations and pause work, and I love it. I like exercise rotation. I did it for a long, long time. I would do bench press 1 week, and the next week I would do like incline bench press. I might do bench press 1 week and incline dumbbell bench press, and then the next week I might do incline dumbbell bench press and dumbbell bench press, or incline bench press and dumbbell bench press. So I like exercise rotation. It's kind of fun. I don't like to rotate more than every 2 weeks, but it's a good way to fight off boredom and just try some different things. How many calories should I eat to recover from 2-a-day workouts? Sorry, YouTube froze up. It usually does once. Let me go back. Brandon says, how many calories should I eat to recover from 2-a-day workouts? No clue. Absolutely no clue. It's just impossible to give you a calorie intake goal. Um, some people I work with have very slow metabolisms or hormone issues, and some people have lightning fast metabolisms. I worked with a gentleman from Greece that maintained on 4,200 calories, and I have men that I'm working with currently that maintain at like 2,000 calories. So impossible for me to say. Luciano, big hairy ugly dude. I have 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. I remember one of your daughters got into powerlifting. How can I motivate my kids to lift? My wife thinks it's a waste of time. Exercise is never a waste of time. What I think would be key as a foundation would be to find a form of exercise that you and the wife enjoy doing together. You, the kids, and the wife. Maybe calisthenics, maybe push-ups, maybe circuits, something. Get the kids together. Hiking, who cares? Movement is life. Movement is health. So you need to find a way to get the entire family on board and in that moving lifestyle. And from there, um, the kids, you can't pressure kids into trying things, but you have to make it fun. So maybe just start out with movements that they push-ups. You can get a TRX. I got a TRX system on the door there. You can do that. That cost me like $20. You can get them doing TRX rows and TRX push-ups and just fun things, challenges. Make it challenging. See what they can do. Kids love that stuff. They love physical challenges. And if they don't catch the bug from there, just let it be. But just concentrate on their health. Concentrate on getting them moving. Concentrate on finding things as a family that you guys like to do. Elevated heart rate during lifting, does that count as cardio? Not really. If you consider the amount of time that your heart rate's actually elevated during a lifting session, it's not as much as you think. It's not the same as doing cardio. Now, you can do forms of lifting that's circuit training or rest pause training where your heart rate does stay elevated, but generally during the typical or training session for the average person, your heart rate's not elevated enough. Hold on, I have bad sinus problems. It's cold as heck in here. Very, very sorry. It's absolutely freezing in here. My nose is dripping out. Is black coffee a good pre-workout? Nothing wrong with that. A little caffeine won't do you bad. Slim, when I'm training, my heart rate is normally between 110 to 150 for an hour. Does that cover cardio? You know what? I'd have to see what you're doing, but don't try to find ways out of doing cardio. Find ways to challenge yourself and find forms of cardio that you enjoy that aren't weights. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if your heart rate stays elevated, that can count as cardio. Anything that elevates your heart rate is good for you. But weights should be weights. They should be resistance training. They have a function to build muscle and strength. You don't want to turn your weight session into a cardio session. All right, just so you can get in your cardio. The function of resistance training is to help you look better, big and strong and sexy AF. And it's not to just get in your cardio. So don't try to turn resistance training into cardio. You can do some stuff at the end or during it that'll raise your heart rate, but don't try to use it as a replacement for cardio. That's kind of bass backwards if you ask me. Steady state cardio good for recovery? Absolutely. Absolutely. A or BB, what do you think about the dumbbell row where you don't use a bench for support? I don't like them for the lower back. Too much strain on the lower back. I find that for barbell rows and dumbbell rows, the greatest safety issue is the strain they can place on your lower back. For that reason, I like to have them supported. Now, unless you get really strong on rows, you're probably not going to notice a lot of lower back strains or pains or taxing of the lower back. I think personally for me, supporting myself feels better on my lower back. How's it going, Henry from France? Let's see, Araya. Hold on here. My clients are blowing up my phone. My clients always forget that I'm on a live video at 10 a.m. Araya, what is your opinion on deload weeks? How often and how much? I don't like deload weeks. I don't like the program random deload weeks. I'm not a big fan for the average lifter. I like if you want an extra day off or you feel like crap, just take an extra day off or feel like crap. I usually like to save my time away from the gym for those times when I feel sick or life is intervening or I'm going on vacation or whatever. So I like, or you walk out of the gym, you just feel like crap, and you feel like, man, I just need a couple days away from the gym to recover. Then it's time to take a few days away. I like to keep deloads intuitive. All right, guys, almost at the end of the road. We've been on for 55 minutes. If you have any questions, get them in now. I got about 5 minutes left. If not, I'm going to jump off. A reminder that I'm here every weekend at 10 a.m. Central Time, or excuse me, Eastern Time. And you can also join my group, Massive Iron, over at Facebook. If I miss your question or you watch this too late, head over to Instagram at Ben the Barman. Send me a DM. Let's see. I wanted to ask, what is the best exercise to build a wider back? A back should be attacked by three main forms of movement: a deadlift, a vertical row, like a pull-up or lat pull-down, a horizontal row, like a dumbbell row or a barbell row. So you want to have those three major things in place. And from there, that's going to be your foundation for building a big, wide back. And after that, you can add in littler things like seated cable rows or single arm lat pull downs or machine rows or whatever. Just get really strong in those three. Is a squat, row, pull up, overhead press, and bench variation twice a week sustainable? Twice a week? Squats are sustainable twice a week. Rows certainly are. Pull ups certainly are. Overhead press and bench. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys, I'm going to head off. We are out of questions, and I need some more coffee. I appreciate you guys watching. Just a reminder, I have a free first month of coaching. If you have any questions about that, go over to my Instagram at Ben the Barman, ask me, and I'll fill you in. Oops, you got one more question. Elijah, thoughts on hitting the same muscle group back-to-back days? Don't do it. Don't. There's just no point. There's just no point in hitting it on back-to-back days. Just have a little recovery, not just for the muscle, but for the joints and all the, everything, the tendons, the ligaments, everything associated with that muscle group. Give that a rest as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day.